Hello, everyone, and welcome back to On the Beat. I'm Stephen Bailey, as always, joined by David Wilson and Trevor Haas. Tomorrow, Syracuse hosts Pittsburgh in the Carrier Dome at 4 p.m. The game will be televised on ESPN. David and I will be in there. It's the first game, the first ranked game for Syracuse since Villanova. But Pittsburgh, although it's, I believe, number 22 in the country, they haven't faced a team nearly as tough as Syracuse yet. Rematch of former Big East rivals. But I think Pittsburgh's best win this year is Stanford. So, what do you guys think of Pittsburgh? Do they deserve to be ranked? Is it a matter of them? They only lost one game to Cincinnati. How good are the Panthers?
I think they deserve to be ranked. Any team that's 16-1, playing in a major conference at this point in the season, should be ranked just on those merits alone. Are they the 22nd best team in the country? I don't know. I don't think anyone knows. They haven't played enough teams to reveal just how good they are. It's definitely a test for Syracuse, though. Probably a better team than North Carolina right now. Maybe not as good as Villanova, but it's good a test they've had this year, probably since Maui or that Villanova game.
Yeah, I was just talking to Ryan Brendan, he writes for the Pitt News, the student newspaper there, and he said they really don't know how good this team is. They could be one of the top 10 teams in the country, or like the 40th or the 50th, because they really haven't played any good teams. So it's just kind of tough to tell where they are right now. I think this game is a big measuring stick for them and Syracuse.
Mm-hmm. And what's going on with Pitt is Deron Johnson is the fourth leading scorer, I believe. He averages 8 points a game or so. Tore his ACL. He's having surgery Wednesday, and he's out for the year. So they're kind of still figuring out how they're shuffling their lineup. And the guy they lean on is Lamar Patterson. He's one of the most efficient guys in the country. Jamie Dixon was praising him on Monday on the ACC coaches teleconference, talking about he's lost weight, he's patient with the ball, he's just an all-around player and a guy who could give the Syracuse 2-3 zone a little bit of trouble. So what do you guys like about his game, and how do you think he fits in with with Pittsburgh's offense?
Well, I think the one thing you see with Pittsburgh is, especially with Jamie Dixon coach teams, they've done a really good job against Syracuse and that zone in the past. And Lamar Patterson's a guy who has a lot of experience against the zone, knows sort of the intricacies of it. And I think this game comes down more to Syracuse has more talent than Pittsburgh. That's evident. They're loaded with all McDonald's All-American stuff like that. But Pittsburgh knows how to beat this zone probably better than any team that Syracuse has played yet, other than maybe Villanova. And Lamar Patterson is a guy with a lot of experience against that zone. I think it comes down to a lot of coaching on Saturday, and having a guy like Patterson with experience against Syracuse, I think, helps a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think Patterson can hurt them inside and out. He's shooting 43% from downtown, so that's pretty good. And he's really a player who can do a lot of different things for you, penetrate and drive and dish and all that kind of stuff. I think he'll be a tough matchup. I mean, they've faced some great players, but I think he's one of the best they've faced so far.
Mm-hmm. And for Syracuse, I think the guy that I'm most interested in seeing how he does is Trevor Cooney. He's coming off, I think he was shooting like 21.9% from three-point range in the 3 games before Boston College. We didn't see him necessarily totally get his shot back, but we saw him get out in transition. He made some steals, he had some dunks, he played good defense. It was definitely his best game in the last 4 or 5. So what do you guys think of Cooney right now? Do you think that he's showing that he can do a little bit of everything? Do you think this is going to help him get his shot back? What's he bring tomorrow?
The one thing I think that's really impressed me about Trevor Cooney, other than when he's making all of his threes, is that he's shown us how valuable it is to be a good defender. Mm-hmm. Because he's not shooting the ball well right now, but Syracuse has no choice but to leave him out on the floor because he gets steals. He plays really well atop that 2-3 zone. And maybe some of these drives he's getting, it wasn't just the dunks he had. He had a couple plays where he got to the rim in the second half against Boston College. It makes him a more valuable player that you can leave on the floor even when his shots aren't falling.
Yeah, I talked to John Newton, Trevor Cooney's trainer from back home, and he said that one of the major reasons for his surge is his off-season workout. I mentioned that in my story that I wrote recently. Cooney just did lots of workouts in the off-season, woke up at 5:30 a.m., and went on the treadmill, all that kind of stuff, changed his diet, stopped going to Wawa. All those kinds of things. So he's really improved not just his shooting, but his all-around game as well.
It'll definitely be interesting to watch how Trevor does tomorrow. Again, the game's at 4 o'clock. David and I will be in the Carrier Dome. We broadcast on ESPN if you can't make it. You can follow us on Twitter at DOSports and online at dailyorange.com. If you're on campus, you should also pick up our In the Paint game preview that comes out on Saturday. Great to take into the game. While you're sitting there waiting for tip-off, you can kind of learn a little bit about Pittsburgh and some more on what's going on Saturday. So thanks for watching.